So why don't we just start with a little getting in our body stretch first. So we'll bring our arms up overhead, and we're just reaching, kind of these little monkey climbs up through one side, up through the other side, just to really open up and create some length and space here. And maybe just do that one more time each way, kind of like you're waking up in the morning stretching. And then we'll take it up through both arms. And nice and slow, bring your arms all the way down like they're just floating through that space. You can rest your hands on your knees and roll through your shoulders. Getting the morning crunches out. Oh, that feels good. Why don't we go around the other direction too? And we're just going to take our big squeeze up, kind of wiggle those shoulders on up there. Hold them, take a nice big breath in, and let's drop them. We'll do that twice more. So we'll lift and squeeze and hold, and drop. And one more time, squeeze, and drop. And just give everything a little wiggle there. See how it's feeling. Maybe turn your head from one side to the other. Just see what a comfortable range of motion in your neck is today. Getting a little idea of where we're starting. Yeah. All right. Then just relax back to your center. And you can close your eyes or take that soft gaze down towards the floor. As we tune in to our breath. So just begin by relaxing into your body a little bit more, feeling your hips on your chair, your feet on the floor. And as you breathe in, just slow and easy, feel that breath creating a little bit more length. It's just floating your posture upright. Continue that breath right on out through the crown of the head as though you could reach your crown of your head towards the ceiling. And then keeping that length, just relax again into your body. Now begin to just notice your breath moving in and out. Just feel your breath moving through your body this morning. Noticing that as you're breathing in, your body is gently expanding. And as you breathe out, your body is softly relaxing. Just feel that connection between the expansion of your inhale and the letting go of your exhale. And gradually begin to slow the pace of your breath. Take your time with it. Beginning to find your way into our long, deep breathing, which is just that long, slow breath in. Long, slow breath out, drawing your belly back in towards your spine as you empty all of that old air out. And as you find that next long, slow breath in, that expansion, notice a pause for a heartbeat or two at the top of your inhale. And then your long, slow breath out, gently emptying all of that old air out. Again, feel that pause for a heartbeat or two at the end of your exhale. So long breath in, pausing at the top. Long breath out, pausing at the bottom. And just take 2 or 3 more breaths in this way. Just let your attention begin to soften inwards, so your mind's eye is just following this path of your breath in and out. And this next cycle of breath, as you're exhaling, just let your chin drop forward to your chest. And we'll relax right there. And just start to roll your head from one shoulder back down across your chest to the other side. A little stretchy here through the neck. We'll take that a couple of times, just from side to side, shoulder to shoulder. And notice if you're feeling any difference from one side of your neck to the other. Does one side feel a little crankier? Is there some secret tension in there? Not so secret, we're finding it out. All right, and then roll your chin back down to your chest, and let's meet there and pause. And then reach your arms down beside you. Now from here, start to float your arms out to the sides, and as they lift up, we're going to stretch our gaze up with them. So we're looking up towards the fingertips. And then slowly stretch back out, really reaching out into the space. And as your arms come down, drop your chin into your chest. And with your breath, let's inhale as we reach out and up, taking up all the space around you. And then exhale as the arms come back down and chin drops into your chest. Keep going, synchronizing your breath with your arms. And this would be an opportunity to come back into that long, deep breathing again. So there's that pause for a heartbeat or two at the end of your exhale. And again at the top of your inhale. So you don't feel rushed. That's it. We'll just take that one more time through, letting the arms come all the way back down. And then relax your hands to your knees. And bring your head to center. Lovely. All right, we're going to come back into some shoulder rolls, but just taking them one at a time now. These little kayak rolls, I call them, like you're paddling a kayak. Yeah. Good. And then around the other direction. And then just back around to center, find that little wiggle. And we're going to walk our feet out a little bit wider now. So we're going to be in this wide leg posture for this next little series. So your knees are turned slightly out over your toes. Make sure that your toes aren't pointing forward and your knees are turned out. So we're just keeping that external rotation. And from here, we're going to start with a little forward fold. So bring your elbows to your knees. And rather than kind of taking this nosedive towards the floor, I want you to think about keeping length up through both the front and back of your body. So we're pressing just a little bit into our feet, and that keeps the hips firmly anchored, and then you can really elongate through your torso and just right out through the crown of your head. Now you're fine where you are. Let me turn a little sideways. So sometimes a couple of things will happen here. So as we're lengthening out through the crown of the head, sometimes we'll tip the head back and sort of lead forward with the chin, and then that creates a real icky situation in the back of the neck and just sort of collapses the front of your body. So if you find yourself in that position, draw your chin in so that your head's in line with your spine, and there's more of this lengthening out from the back of your body. And then one of the other situations that can happen is the head will kind of turtle, kind of reach forward here, like we're trying to get longer by reaching out through the neck. And again, it's a really compromising position for the cervical spine. So just check that you can kind of keep your head in line with your spine. And so let's tip back up. And to help keep that head in line with the spine, I want you to think about just folding forward from your hip crease. So nothing changes except you just bring your body forward on that angle. Let's do that one more time. So you're up, you're in your beautiful alignment, the head is in line with your spine, you're elongated, and then we just fold whoop, from that hip crease, and you're right there. Okay, let's take a breath there. Good. Now that I have said all of that, I want you to remember that because we're going to come back to it, but for right now, do go ahead and relax your chin forward. And I want you to tuck your hips under and start to roll up your spine. So in this case, your head is the very last thing to come back on top. Good. Alrighty. So bring your fingertips to your shoulders here for a moment. We're just going to do some little tips, just reaching a little to one side and then up and then tip to the other side. So one elbow is reaching down as the other is reaching up. So I want to find that. So come back to center. And as you tip over to the other side, feel one elbow reaching to the floor and actively reaching that other elbow up towards the ceiling. You come back to center, pause for a second, and just feel that leveling off. And then as you go the other way, one elbow is actively reaching to the floor, the other is actively reaching to the ceiling. And then come back to center, pause, and bring your arms down. So when we do that, we can feel that one side of our body is deepening into that contraction where we're getting a real opening up through the opposite side. So we're going to do that with the full wingspan of the arms now. All right, so we're going to take our right hand inside your right knee, and your palm is facing out. So I'm just very gently pressing my knee and hand into each other. It's just a little guideline. Okay. And go ahead and start to lean down as far as is comfortable for you. So it's that exact same movement that you were just in, except rather than your elbow reaching to the floor, now your fingertips are reaching to the floor. I don't expect you to touch the floor because that would bring you into too much of that forward flexion or that forward fold. So just thinking to the side. Now take that left hand and plug your fingers up into the ceiling. So just like when we reached our elbow up, now your fingertips are reaching up. And just feel that length in both directions. Let's take a breath. We're going to look up to the fingers overhead and then look down to the fingers below. Do that one more time. Look up to your fingers and look down to your fingers. Now from here, you're looking down, but it's as though somebody has hold of your wrist and they're just going to reach you up and your whole body's going to come up, 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 up. Your head's the last thing to arrive and then everything relaxes. Just kind of do some little in and outs there with your knees. Yeah. Okay, and notice if that left side body feels a little bit more awake and alive. And then we're going to go the other way. So your left hand is going to come against your left knee. So again, your palm is facing forward. And we're just going to tip over to that side. Now I want you to stop when your body naturally stops. So don't feel like you have to really reach to the floor. Just be in a gentle side bend. That's a pretty big stretch here where I am. So you might be up here and that might be where your stretch is. I want you to really honor that. Just very gently are we pressing the knee and arm against each other so we've got a little stability. And then we're going to take that right hand and plug your fingertips up into the ceiling. Good. And from there, feel that reach in two different directions. And we're going to look up to the fingers and then look down to the fingers. Little neck release here. Do that one more time. Look up to your fingers. Look down to your fingers. Now you're going to keep looking down, but imagine somebody is pulling this right hand up and up and up as you slowly bring everything back to center and relax. Heel toe your feet back in a little closer. Just do some little in and outs or some little windshield wipers there. Goodness, that'll get you 2 inches in your posture. Nice. Okay, now we're going back into our essentially a seated squat, right? A supported squat. So back to here. Right, now interlace your fingers and bring them behind your head so you're making a little basket for your head to relax back into. Now I'm going to turn sideways again. It can be really easy to kind of collapse into that. So if you watch my body, what we don't want to do is just kind of drop the head back. It's that same feeling of lifting your chin up. And then what happens is it collapses all of the internal organs and through the front of the body. So I want you to stay lifted and tall, that same feeling of reaching up through the crown of your head, the head in line with your spine. And let's take a breath in. Now we are coming back to our side stretch again. So let's tip to the right side. And then as you inhale, grow nice and tall. Make sure that chin doesn't tip back. So think level with the floor. And then we'll go to the left. Good. Okay, now we're going to come up to center. And from here, we're going to tip back to our right. And then very slowly roll your chin forward. So just really through the upper body. Keep coming through center, chin to chest. We're going to roll into our left side then. And then back up. We're going to do that again. Tipping to your right first. It's really slow and delicious in your body. Chin to your chest as you roll through center. To your left. And up. Okay, we're going to go the other way. So we're going to tip to our left first. I'm going to do it sideways so you can see how far over I'm going. Okay. And then coming forward, so it's not a big round forward, it's really just that upper back that we're opening up. And then tipping to your right and lengthen up to center. Do that again. So to your left, chin to chest as you roll forward. So really just across that middle upper back, the thoracic spine, all of our breathing muscles. Tip to the right and then bring it up to center. And hold. And relax your arms all the way down. Take a nice big breath. Good. Kind of wiggle out that upper body. So that starts to open up all of our breathing muscles through our rib cage, our intercostal muscles, right, the muscles in between the ribs, and that's a place where a lot of tension can get into. And then when we're breathing, and if that tension is there, those muscles can't expand. We can't get as much of the natural movement and range of motion and elasticity of the rib cage as we normally would. And so it can create more of a shortness of breath. So all of this just to open up our breath and open up the body so things don't feel so, right? That's the official term. Okay, so now bring your knees and feet back together and just do some little side to sides there, little windshield wipers. Good. All right, and just have your legs about hips width apart now. Okay, let's interlace the fingers and roll through your wrist. Just get some good movement flowing in. Nice juicy joints. And then we'll circle them the other direction. Back around to center. Notice which of your thumbs is on top. And then interlace your fingers the other way. So now that other thumb is on top, the way that just feels weird. And roll again through your wrist. It's good to balance things out. Okay, a few circles the other way. So this also just gets into some different muscles than we use on a regular everyday basis when we change things up just a little bit. Good. Okay, we're going to come around and just shake off your hands, and then we're going to come through some little finger wrist exercises here. So we're just going to squeeze and open, moving the blood flow out through all those joints. Okay. And then we're going to take that into little flicks, like you have water on your fingers, and you're just going to flick, 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 flick. Good. Now you're going to take it into each of those little joints. So if you can, just imagine that you're playing in clay or silly putty or something like that, and we're going to squeeze, if we can, each of those little joints. Just squeeze, squeeze, doing your best to move through them. There's going to be some tight areas. There might be some arthritis, so we're just gently going to pulse that movement through. And then we're going to take that into a bigger range of motion. So we do beaks. We open and close all the fingers to the thumb. And breathe. Okay, then we open. Let's just kind of shake that all out again. And this time you're going to reach your thumb across to the mound of your pinky finger. So this joint right here at the very base of your pinky finger, just reaching across to or towards that direction, and then open. You're going to do that again. So reaching in that direction or touching it, whatever your range of motion is. We'll do a couple more. So touch, release, touch, release. It's amazing. I can feel that all the way down here in my body. Let's do about 2 more. Shake it out. Okay, then you're going to tuck your thumbs inside and wrap your fingers around into a soft fist, and we're going to scoop out the honey jar. So just roll through the wrist. Stretch all those little muscles right on up into your forearms. And then change direction. Good. And again, just let your arms hang low as you just shake that all out. Okay. Rest your palms face up onto your knees for a moment and just check in. Notice if you maybe feel a little bit more warmth in your arms, or you can just feel that things feel a little bit more awake, some good blood flow and circulation is moving through. Nice. Okay, now we're going to bring our hands up and imagine that we're pushing against an imaginary wall. And I'm going to do it again sideways so you can see what's happening in the torso as well. So we're Superwoman. We're going to channel our inner Wonder Woman here. And so we're going to push the hands forward as though you are pushing against some resistance and tucking round back at the same time. So you're pushing out through your hands and rounding back. Now imagine that you can grab hold of 2 ropes and you're going to pull those ropes forward, and you're pulling something heavy towards you as you reach the elbows back and you lift and arch through your chest. So you just have to imagine that there's some resistance that you're pushing and pulling. So here we go again. We're going to push, and we're going to pull. As we pull in, we want to find a little length through the front of body, that lift and arch. Then we're going to exhale, push away, and round back. Inhale, pull in towards you, lift through your chest. Keep going, push, and pull. We'll do 2 more, push, and pull. And last one, push, and pull. And just relax to your center. There's something very satisfying about that particular movement to me. I don't know what that is. But. All right, then from here, we're just going to lean a little forward and take our body around in a circle. Now, let's breathe in through the first part of that circle. Breathe out as you circle around to the back. And just an easy reverse, going the other way, sort of smoothing everything out. Take it one more time around. Now as you lift up to center, we're going to grow tall. Remember, we're going to keep our head in line with our spine, and we're just going to fold from our hip crease and come over the legs and reach towards the floor. Now from here, again, you can just keep your head in line with your spine or go ahead and let it drop at this point. Yogi's choice. Let's be here for a moment and just breathe. Getting a nice release through the whole back of your body. So take your hands and bring them to your knees. We're going to take a breath in. And with our exhale, scoop your tummy in towards your back and just take your time as you tuck and roll up. So keep your chin tucked as you're coming up this time. Let your head be the very last thing to arrive on top. And relax right there into your center. Pause for a moment. Just notice how you're feeling.